am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Inspire. I'm so glad that you are hanging out with us on this wonderful Saturday morning. I hope that it's bright and sunny wherever you are and not too hot. Some of our areas have been having like a heat wave. So I hope it's not too hot. I hope the breeze is cool, and I hope it's not raining. Thank you for joining us. If you are just kind of coming in, because I'm really excited about our conversation today. If you're just joining us and you don't know who I am, what Inspire is about, I'm your host, Sue A. Webley. I'm an author, producer, an award-winning minister, and an entrepreneur. I am the founder and executive officer, CEO of Cara Solutions, which helps clients to navigate their digital space with confidence. And so I believe in the power of words, wisdom, and witness, and that is what Inspire is all about. So every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we host space with some honest, some soulful, often transformative conversations with guests from all walks of life. If you've been here for the last couple of years, you know we talk to everybody, right? So entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders, organizers, and everyday people who are living boldly and authentically. And we explore topics that matter, from mental health to identity to faith, business, justice, creativity, and healing. And so whether we're spotlighting community leaders or celebrating personal triumphs, Inspire is rooted in the power of story and the belief that when we speak our truth, we light the way for others. We are live right now on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I think this blocked out of my mind. All right, so we're live on all of those platforms, but I want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. If you've already been following me on LinkedIn, if you've already been following me on Cara Solutions LLC all over social media, thank you so much. We are building up the Inspire with Sue platform, and so I want, for the time that we are here on these platforms, I want you to follow us and Inspire with Sue W. Alternatively, you can go to our website at www.getinspired.live. There you can see all of our previous episodes. You can find out a little bit more about the show, and you can subscribe to our newsletter. We don't want you to miss anything that's happening with Inspire. We've got some good things coming up, and we don't want you to miss it. So follow us. If you are not already following us on YouTube on the Cara Solutions LLC, please go ahead and follow me there as well. We are working on getting on TikTok, so I have the numbers. So we're gonna see if we can stream this show to TikTok. I am not gonna belabor the time because I have two amazing, wonderful guests, and we are getting ready to have a robust conversation. And I have to say that this episode is a bit personal for me, right? So as a Black entrepreneur, I know what it means to show up for everyone, and your clients, your team, your family, while putting yourself at the very bottom of the list. And I'm sure that our guests can relate to that. And I'm sure those of you who are watching or who will catch this in the replay can relate as well. And so I know that there were seasons I didn't just ignore my wellness, right? I didn't even have the language for it. Wellness, what is that? What is that? I need to work. I need to, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. But we are in August. And so that means two things. It is National Black Business Month, and it's also National Wellness Month. And so too often, these two truths exist in separate rooms, and we often celebrate the hustle, right? But we stay silent about the harm that hustle can do to us when we don't take the time to rest, when we don't take the time to take care of ourselves, when we don't pour into ourselves so that we can give to others. So today, again, we have some powerful purpose-driven entrepreneurs. We are going to be talking about the Black business of being well, because rest, power, and purpose were never meant to be in conflict, and we are going to be reclaiming them together. So help me to welcome Dr. Gloria Pope, who's the founder and CEO of Black Girl Everything, and also Trip Tomlinson, the founder and CEO of New Form Studios. Welcome to Inspire. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday. So I'm gonna start. What's in your cup this morning? What you got? What you sipping on?
Well, I'm warming up with fancy water in a fancy cup.
Come on, wait. Let me listen. We need to see the cup. Come on. You better have water in a fancy cup. Triple.
Right. I start as a Jamaican. I start every day with some mint tea.
Some mint tea. Let me see the cup. I'm gonna put you. Let's tell us about this cup. I love it.
I got this cup from I think Home Goods. I'm building a mug collection. I just bought a SpongeBob mug the other day. I should use that one, but this one was the closest in reach. So
okay, listen, that's fine. Of course, so you're drinking tea. Dr. Glow has water in her fancy cup. And in my Inspired Change tumbler, this is the one I'm showcasing today, I have my coffee. Now, I was talking last week. I said, you know what? I love a strong cup of coffee. Like, the stronger the better, but it doesn't love me. So, so it's decaf in my cup. And y'all don't come for me, because they was coming for me the other day when I had decaf in my cup. It has the same taste, and then my brain is doing the same thing. So there. All right. So before we go into our conversation, tell us about both of you. Tell us about your businesses, okay? So we'll start with Dr. Glow, and then you can go ahead, Trip, after she does.
Okay, perfect. So I am the owner of Black Girl Everything. I started in 2020. The business really was to promote and support other individuals, and has grown to other things. Like now we have our own boutique store here in Mount Vernon, where I'm from, as well as we still continue to host amazing events, including our Black Women's Retreat. So it's really a business-based business where we focus on curating events as well as supporting other entrepreneurs grow.
Thank you. And I know all about this work that Dr. Glow is doing, especially this group. It's a robust group on Facebook and off of Facebook, right? Because you still have meetings and stuff like that. And there's so many amazing women entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs in this group. So if you happen to be a Black woman entrepreneur and you want to get connected to this group, please connect with Dr. Glow. We're going to make sure that that she gives all of the ways to contact her before we end today. Okay, Trip.
So I'm the founder and CEO of New Form Studios. Tell you a little bit about it. New Form is a full-service design agency. So we offer everything from graphic design to marketing and marketing and advertising design. We specialize in creating brand experiences for companies and businesses across all industries. So from retail agencies to retail stores, we do it all. And we focus on creating experiences that's not only visually compelling, but also strategically powerful. And we're rooted in intentional design. And that's kind of the approach that we're trying to bring a new approach to design through intentional design that prioritizes purpose, clarity, and emotional impact. So that's kind of what I'm trying to I'm trying to throw out and what I'm trying to get across. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's honestly fairly new, but
Mhm.
it's growing rapidly, I would say. So I'm really,
Yeah.
really thankful for that and really excited for it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. I was going to say it's relatively new, so this conversation is really good because you
Yes.
just kind of starting out.
Yeah.
So either one of you, what made you say like this is the work I'm called to do?
Well, for me, I was driving from a director's meeting because I'm also an early childhood educator, and I was in this space where I was constantly honestly the darkest person in the space, right? And
Right.
also the most educated. So I found myself feeling I had to shrink consistently in this space, and I was just like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. So I was driving one day and the whole day on the highway, and I called my cousin. I was like, hey, I want to do something different. And she's like, what do you want to do? And it just spit out my mouth. And I decided, well, I want to promote businesses. I'm going to host an event. I'm going to do all this great stuff. And that's how it started. It started off with one event, and now it's just a movement 5 years later where I continue to do the same work just in different ways and inspire other individuals and connect with people and just love on Black women and all the things that they dream of being.
Yes, yes. Thank you. You want to add to that, Trip?
So mine is kind of a little bit more complicated than that. So I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I've been a singer, a fashion designer, a whole bunch of stuff. So I was actually making dancehall music for a little bit,
Okay.
for the last 5 or so years.
Mhm.
Um, but I've always been a designer. And I started out designing clothes, like digitally designing clothes, physically designing clothes. I was working with a local store here in Boston,
Mhm.
and that's kind of where I like really learned how to design for real. And like maybe like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, um, I I was I was originally going to start a clothing company.
Mhm.
Um, but then I'm a very indecisive person, so I've been dabbling through ideas for so long.
Mhm.
And then I went to design school. I went to art school for a little bit, and then I took this visual identity class, and that kind of like changed a lot for me. It kind of like made me realize that me as a designer wasn't just limited to clothing. And I've been doing graphic design for I was like about 8 years now. And then my girlfriend actually she started a an event curation business out here, and I kind of helped her like build her brand. So
Mhm.
that's where I kind of like that's what kind of like moved me to start the agency. So now here I am.
Yeah, yeah, and we're grateful for it. Thank you both
For sure.
for sharing. If you just joined us, we are in conversation with Dr. Glow and Trip Tomlinson, and we are talking about the Black business of being well. And so, thank you for being here. Please share this out with your friends and your family, your networks. Tell them to come on and join us, especially if you are a Black entrepreneur. So, we're centering on wellness today, and we hear that word, right? It's kind of like thrown around. But I want to pause for a minute and hear how you both define it, not in theory, but like in your life, um, not personally and practically, right? How do you define wellness, especially in this particular season of your life and business?
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and go first.
Mhm.
For me, wellness is about being centered, right? Wellness is about being centered where you're focused on all the different aspects of your life. Because if you're struggling in one area, you're going to struggle in all your areas, right? So, for wellness for me is making sure that I'm comfortable and consistent with my family, that I'm putting personal time into my marriage with my wife, right? That I'm also focused on my career and my personalized goals for myself, my fitness and health, what I put into my body, my friends and family, all those different areas of my life, including even a major focus on my finances, is a big way for me to make sure that I'm staying grounded and centered around so I'm able to be the CEO of my own life. Because if you're distracted and not paying attention into all those different things and making sure you have complete harmony, because balance doesn't exist, right? Having harmony within those things, you're never going to be well. And I think for the last couple of years, since 2021, I've been doing some major life work, and that's been where I've been centralized, that of really having that harmony around all those different aspects of my life. And I think I'm right now, I feel I'm the I would say the wellest. I wouldn't say it's even actually a word, but definitely I'm the most centered I've been in a very long time.
No, thank you for sharing that, Dr. Glow. Trip.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I like wholeheartedly agree. Like, I feel like if I had to say that, I would say exactly that. And also to add to that, I've been thinking a lot lately about self-awareness, and I realized that it's not a characteristic, because like a lot of people typically say like I'm a self-aware person, and I just grown to realize that, especially during the last few months, that it's a discipline, and like most people try to like avoid it and stay away from it because it kind of forces you to like to outgrow this narrative that you created about yourself. And I feel like with self-awareness comes like that the ideology or the realization that you're constantly changing your thoughts, you're constantly changing your behaviors or patterns. And I feel like that is something that as an entrepreneur, like I feel like for me that's something that I really have to think about, because I'm constantly evolving, right? And I don't want to sit in one place, like, as a business owner, I teach during the school year. So like I don't want to, like, I kind of want to be like disciplined enough to continuously have that mindset, like, okay, like if this isn't working out for me, I got to find a new approach, and I got to find something that does work out for me, because I also have to be a girlfriend, I also have to be a daughter, I also have to be a sister, you know what I'm saying? So I just have to constantly, like Dr. Glow said, stay censored, and discipline is a very big thing for me as well. I have to stay disciplined. And also, what wellness has been for me recently is establishing a routine for myself. So I've been in the gym a lot more. I've been eating better. I've been trying to get enough sleep, and just kind of trying to like balance out, that work and rest, because I be on go. Like I've been off the whole summer because I do teach during the year, but like I've been working all summer. Like it hasn't really been like a vacation. You know what I'm saying? So I've just really been on go, and I'm in the midst of trying to like figure out that balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Glow, you mentioned harmony, right? And that's so important because we're kind of taught to like, oh, we have to balance work, life and work, and you really can't balance that because there's so many intersections to us anyway. There's so many intersections in our life, period. So we have to find a way to kind of harmonize all of those things. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for talking about balance and harmony. And Trip, you talked about self-awareness. That is hard work.
Ooh.
Right? Some people don't want to do the work. I mean, you got to really dig down deep into your. I mean, you got to go to the deeper depths. Okay, you have to take a look at your traumas. You got to take a look at your triggers. Right? You have to do the work, and it's hard and it's painful, but it's
Yes.
so worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. So thank you both for raising that. Anyone, do you have something to say about the how hard it is to be self-aware, to become self-aware, Dr. Glow?
Listen, self-awareness. When you said that, I was like, that's it right there.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Because you have to look in the mirror. And then some
Yeah.
people don't like being honest with the mirror. The mirror is the thing that they consistently try to deceive. Not realizing that you can't deceive yourself, boo-boo. You got to get with it. And realizing that growth comes in considerable things. Like you have to continue to want to grow. And like, Triple was talking about, the change. Pivot is a major word for me. And it's just like, if you want to have harmony, you have to be able to pivot, because the path that you're going, I'll be going somewhere. I'll be like 100,000 miles an hour. I'm going. I'm like, no, going this way, because that is no longer working for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work
Right.
for everything that I'm trying to do. And it's okay, because some people get so stuck, especially with entrepreneurs. We get so stuck on this idea. This is the idea. This is the idea. This is the idea. And then we have this concept that we feel as if we fail if we don't stick with the idea. right? And it's actually just part of your process. And your process, you hit certain walls, and then you're like, okay, nope, now I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna try this. And that's where real self-awareness comes in, because some individuals don't even realize that they love running their head into a brick wall. And it happens in all aspects of your life. So you have to know when to pivot and when to stop, and that it's okay to say, yeah, I'm just not doing that no more.
Right.
All right. So
And
for
also,
both of you, go ahead and talk. Go ahead, Trip.
one more thing. So mental health is also a very big thing. It's been a very big thing in my life for eons. I have chronic anxiety that I've been trying to learn how to manage for like the past like 7 or so years. And I feel like I have just now kind of established a like routine for myself and for my brain in therapy. And I think that at this point in my life, like we're only getting older, you know what I'm saying? And it's like there's only so much that you can be okay with making into a habit. And a lot of habits that we learn from, you know, as we're growing up, they're often like negative habits or bad habits that we have to break. And I think that committing yourself to it like doesn't necessarily have to be therapy, but committing yourself to something that can contribute to your healing and your growth mentally, I feel like is very vital and very important and essential. And I feel like I can't really stress that enough because I've been in and out of therapy for a very long time. And therapy can be draining, you know, going through that, it could be very draining, but I feel like it's something that is necessary. And especially, you know, a lot of Black women, we go through so much that, you know, we just have we bottle up and we be like, okay, I'm gonna just get over this because I have to keep going. Like I feel like that's the thing, like we have to keep going, so we don't necessarily take time to deal with what is holding us back in the back of our brain. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, like mental health, like physical health and mental health, like it goes hand in hand. You got to if you're taking care of one, you got to take care of the other.
Yeah. So I wanted to put this up because both of y'all preaching, and I need you got a cash app or whatever, just throw it in that private chat so the people can bless you. Both of you are preaching up in here today, and so a lot of us learn, and Trip and I talked about this before we went live, right? So we're both from Yard, and so we, you know, we're kind of it's instilled in us to, you know, to have more than one job, to just to keep going, right? As Black women in general, we have this thing ingrained in us that we got to keep going, we got to keep doing. If we don't do it, then it won't get done, right? And so we get to the point, you know, going back to your point about mental wellness, mental health, and wellness. Was there a moment? I know you're just starting out, Trip, but has there been a moment yet when you're doing everything you need to do in your business and it was thriving, but you weren't?
Yes.
What?
Yes. So I launched New Form twice. It happened the very first time because I feel like in a sense I kind of launched it too early. I had the idea, I had the concept, you know, I know what I wanted to do, but I feel like I wasn't presenting it in the right way. So I wasn't like 100% comfortable with what I was conveying to people and into potential clients. My services were kind of all over the place, and like I wasn't really in the best place mentally. So it's like I feel like that was like also a big thing. So I kind of had to like take a step back and like rebrand and re-strategize, and I ended up redoing it, and I had also brought on my partner, who's actually one of my closest friends, and ever since then it's just been doing better. So I really just had to like take a step back and like kind of take my time and rebrand, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Dr. Glow?
Yeah, team is everything. And I think what I realized is that the more that I tried to do everything by myself was when things just wouldn't thrive. And then when I realized things were not thriving, I'm like, because I'm trying to do everything myself. And then I had to keep on reaching out and working with teams. So like my degree, my doctorate is in educational leadership. So like leadership is my thing. I was firstborn. I've always been in charge.
Yeah.
So, but what happens was when you have that level of power, you think you can handle everything on your own. And then you realize that, yeah, you just cannot. So when I found that the businesses are thriving, I always pull back and I'm just like, okay, what's not working? And always the answer is me. I'm not working because I'm not working with others. I'm not allowing contribution, or even that I'm not also recognizing when certain team members are no longer good enough for this team. Because as the business grows and things change, people you might have had in the beginning were wonderful when you started, but now you're going into this new chapter of your business, you need new people. So this big year for me is my year of results, and I've been changing the people changing the people around me and bringing on new individuals for this new chapter that I'm in, because I cannot keep the same folks, because you need new perspectives. So I think that what we find, especially around wellness, around our business, especially as CEOs, is about making sure you're pivoting your team when you need to. And even like we always tend to lean, like Trip, I know you say you have your close friend who's with you right now, right?
Yeah.
All my close friends helped me start my business.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my close friends don't work for me anymore because the business changed over the years,
Right.
and I valued our friendship more than I valued us as a business partner. So there's different things that you look at as a leader to realize when you want to elevate to another level, and because nobody knows everything, and sometimes you need another brain on the team to bring in some new energy.
That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. Many of us, when we're starting out, we do believe that we have to do everything ourselves.
Yep.
But asking for help, and I'm actually doing a podcast series on this. Asking for help, we think that asking for help or delegating is a sign of weakness, or it's a sign that we can't handle it. But none of us are we're not designed to do things by ourselves. We are designed to be in community with others, right, to get the work done. And so it's so vitally important that those of you who cannot ask for help, who feel like you have to do it all and you're running yourself into the ground, listen, ask for help, reach out, check your circle, right? Network. You might have someone that is very good at finances. Let's just go finances. Maybe you're not good at finances, but you know someone that is, right? Reach out to them, talk to them, right? We're not designed to do things by ourselves. So that community mentality, that village mentality that I feel has been lost in our community. Specifically because we're in the USA, right? We've kind of lost that village mentality. It's something that we have to go back and grab. Sankofa. Okay, we got to go back and grab it because I believe, especially in this political climate, that's how we're going to survive. So thank you both for sharing so eloquently. I see you all. Let's see some comments. Pastor Joyce, thank you for joining us today. Dr. Jamie, listen, Dr. Jamie's like, say that, Dr. Glow. And she says to get out of her business. My love, Laquita is on. Thank you for joining us today. Pastor Joyce, okay. Pastor Joyce asks if you are, Dr. Glow, if you're still friends with those that helped you in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, they're my best friends. We travel together. We hang out all the time and we have conversations. Because, sometimes I think that friends, they feel that they owe you, right, because of the friendship, and it kind of blurs the lines of the business, right? So sometimes you have to say to certain, like one of my best friends, my best friends, and she was there, she helped me from the beginning and everything else, but I started realizing she was becoming less and less reliable, and I had a conversation with her. I said, do you want to focus more on your own career? And she was like, yeah. I was like, then go do that. I still love you. That's okay. But I tap in, I ask her a question here and there, but she doesn't have to feel the pressure of being part of it full time. So I think, yeah, you can still maintain friendships and just realizing that it's all love. I'm not bothered that you don't want to do this anymore. This is my dream. This is not yours.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing, is this is mine. And that is okay. So you can just be my friend and we can go to brunch. We can have a great time. You can be my cheerleader from the back. You don't have to be right next to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for responding to that, Dr. Glow. So many of us, and I think we are already kind of touched on this, but I want to go a little deeper into it. This mindset that that when we rest, that means that we're lazy, right? When we stop, when we take a break, that we're not doing enough. And so, why is it important for us as Black entrepreneurs to lean into our wellness without apology, right? Even when it feels unfamiliar or out of reach.
Well, I'm going to jump right into this. Y'all see this beautiful tan I got going?
Come on, Tan.
Listen, this is me coming off an 8-day cruise. I did not answer an email. I did not do it. I did not make phone. I made one phone call because I had to. It was only one. And that was it. And it lasted all of 30 seconds. I answered the question, do ABCMG. I'm not answering my phone no more. And that was it. Because I believe, actually, I enjoy traveling a lot. I travel a lot. I think this summer alone, I'm out of the country at least 15 days this summer. Because I know that it takes time to stop and to recharge. If I find myself being exhausted, or I find myself not creating, usually when I can't create anymore, I feel my brain stuck, that means I need to take a break. And I take that break. I put everything down, turn my phone off, maybe spend a day at a spa, or honestly spend a day in my house and just watch Netflix and just don't work, don't do anything. And I don't call it lazy. I call it me time, because you have to take time out for yourself. So I do it a lot through travel. My wife loves traveling. My daughter's favorite place in the whole wide world is Mexico. So we take her there often. And it's just really for us to just grow. Because if you don't take time and clear your head can't come up with new ideas because you stay clogged. So you have to empty it out. And emptying it out is getting yourself in another place and time and just really enjoying some sunlight.
Thank you. Trip?
Yeah, disconnecting is a very big thing for me. And also listening to my body is a very big thing for me. I'm an introvert, and all my friends know that. So like if let's say somebody wants to hang out, somebody wants to go out, if I don't want to go, I'm not gonna go. I never feel pressured to um, do something that I know that my body will reject. And in terms of working, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm still I'm a little bit consumed into the hustle culture, but I do know when to listen to my body, and I do know when it's time to relax and to sit down. I feel like like Dr. Lou was saying, like I love taking vacations, I love traveling, and I feel like when I am on vacation or when I'm in my house just like doing nothing, like I feel like it's not like I don't feel bad for taking time to myself. I don't feel bad for putting my phone on do not disturb or not answering texts or phone calls. Like I don't feel bad because at the end of the day, like if I'm not rested, if I'm not recharged, if I'm not good, then nothing, then I can't produce anything. So it's like, what's the point of overworking yourself if you know that there won't be a good outcome, as a result of you overworking yourself. So I'm trying to take that into consideration. I'm trying to establish a routine when it comes to me working and me resting and me trying to balance that and navigate that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think laziness exists. I think that it's just you need to put yourself first at certain moments, and when you have to do it, and it may not look that way to others, but it's prioritizing yourself. So what other people think about it don't matter.
Yes, prioritize yourself. I have to pause. We're gonna get ready to take a break, but can we just give it up for the 3 Black queer women? Listen, this, I invited other people, but listen, this is it right here. Okay, this is it right here. I feel at home, of course. But we're gonna take a quick break, do some housekeeping, and then we'll be right back with some more conversation with the amazing Dr. Glow and Trip. Thank you again for joining us. If you just come on, welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Inspire with Sue W. Or alternatively, you can go ahead to our website, www.getinspired.live. You can find out all about the show. You can watch all of our previous episodes. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter. We don't want you to miss a thing. There's things happening with Inspire, with the Inspire Network, and we don't want you to miss anything. So please go ahead and subscribe. Are you or someone you know on a mission to create change while inspiring others to do the same? We want to hear from you. Join us in conversation on a future episode. I would be honored to sit across from you in this virtual space to have some conversation. So again, you can visit our website at www.getinspired.live. You can book your appearance right on our website. Just click the tab, Be Our Guest, and fill out that intake form, and a member of our team will get back to you. I want to invite you after come on Monday for the overflow. And the overflow is basically me talking about or sitting with the things that came up for me during our conversations with our guests. And you can also head over to our website and click that overflow tab and leave some comments. I would love to hear your thoughts as well about our shows and about things that have come up for you, things that have shifted for you, things that, kind of convicted you. I want to hear all of it. So join me over on my website for the overflow. And I don't usually do this, but as we are talking about Black entrepreneurship, Cara Solutions, helping you navigate the digital space with confidence. And so we are a full-service digital agency specializing in helping our clients achieve their goals through consulting and training, content and social media management, graphic and web design, and live stream production. And so if you are interested in any of those things, you can schedule a consultation by visiting our website at www.cara-solutions.com or email us at info@cara-solutions. Finally, we're going to do this until our sibling in community gets a kidney. Okay, every Saturday that we are live, I'm going to put this up. Yanni needs a kidney. Some of you know her as Pastor Yanni, Reverend Yanni, the Peace Pastor, however you know her. And if you don't know her, Google her, get to know her. She needs a kidney donor. Okay, so she's in search of potential donors who are fairly healthy, who have the blood types A or O, and the courage to commit to surgery and help save her life. And she'd love to share the safety measures with you. If that is not you and you are connected to her organization, or you have a resource that you could connect Yanni to, please let us know so we could get that information to her. You could also email her and her family directly at peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. That's peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. Or you can head over to emerylivingdonor.org, fill out that survey, and enter her name, Ayana Davis. Let's gather together in community and help one of our own get what she needs to keep on living. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to get back into some more conversation with Dr. Gloria Pope, the founder and CEO of Black Girl Everything LLC, and Trip Tomlinson, founder and CEO of New Form Studios. Welcome back. Welcome back. I see people are, all right, listen. Pastor Joyce says, that's a whole class by itself, taking the time to clear your head. I love that part because we don't often take the time to clear our heads. So thank you for sharing that comment. If you have a question for Dr. Glow or Trip, please post it. I want to make sure that we're able to respond to those questions before we end our time together today. So we cannot talk about wellness without talking about systems, right? And so, and we'll start with Trip. How do you believe systemic challenges like racism, hypervisibility, underfunding has impacted your well-being, both as an entrepreneur and someone living in a Black body?
So I will say that it's not as likely for a Black woman, a black person to build a corporate company. You know, if you look at a majority of like 80-90% of the corporate companies in the world, they are all owned and founded by white men in particular. So me being a Black woman, building this company from the ground up, I think that that's just a challenge in itself, because I feel like all the odds are automatically stacked against me. um, but it's not something that I'm going to look at as like an obstacle, or it's not something that I'm going to treat as such either, because I think that there's power in creativity, there's power in strategy, there's power in passion for what you do, right? So I think that, you know, with that being a challenge, you know, it is something that I have to take into consideration, because um, it's just not easy. It's just not even an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? And it's also, I believe that I'm the only Black woman in Boston who has a business like this in the city. So I think that, you know, that in itself is just also something that I need to take into consideration, and just keep in the back of my mind, because it's not like it's not going to happen in the snap of a finger, you know. And I think that I wouldn't say that it has like held me back, but it just being like, we live in a white male dominated country. So it's gonna, no matter what, I feel like it's just gonna be in the way. But like, it's really up to me to just learn how to maneuver through that, and to just not let it um kind of break down what I'm building, you know. And you know, as far as like funding, you know, like I'm like, you know, I've been in the process of like trying to, you know, present this to investors, but it's like, how am I going to present this to the right investors, and investors who is not, you know, just going to try to, you know, buy the company, or say like, I'll give you this, but I want this, meaning I want partial shares, or, you know, it's just navigating through things like that. And I think that that's a very interesting that like you've asked that, because it's something that I've like, you know, thought about, like, but like it's not really something that I really like dug deep into, you know. It's just things that like I know off rip, like, you need, if you start this company, if you start this business, you need to understand that, you need to understand where you're doing it in America. You need to understand who you are that's trying to do this, that this is, you know, this is typically something that you would see like a white man trying to do, or a white woman trying to do, and like, you're a Black queer woman in America that's building a corporate company from scratch. So what are you going to do with that? How are you going to move with that? That's just kind of my thought process. That's what my thought process has been towards that.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, Trip. Dr. Glow?
Yeah, Trip, you said a lot of important things there, you know, and yes, we are in a very much so white dominated space where we have limitations. Racism will always be a thing, unfortunately. And then we have the stacks against us because we walk into a space looking like this.
Right.
So people like always like, wait, what? You know, and especially masculine presenting folks, right? For us, it's at least even more challenging for us, because people come, in some instances, I would say, they come with this, you hit a wall, right? Because it's like, but who are you? You're dressed like this. And it's like, it's this, they come up with all these factors about who we potentially are as people. And so we open our mouths, and then they're like, oh, wait, but you're intelligent? Yes, I am. Thank you. Right. But when it comes down to like the funding, and the biggest word for me that always comes up is access. And I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm in New York, right? And access is a lot different in New York than it may be in Boston, right? Because
sure.
New Yorkers is just how we move. It's just this
Yep.
drive of getting things here. So a lot of folks have said to me, like, why don't you open in other places? I'm like, no, I'm really safe here in New York. We're super liberal. We're super Black. And, you know, the access is just a little bit different. But is it any really even better than other places? No, it's still the same thing. It's so complicated to go into banks. We're still not trusted when we're trying to get potential loans and things of that nature. But then, unfortunately, even historically from our families, like, I was born in a family, into a home where finances were not a conversation. I was a kid who grew up in a shelter, right? So it was like when it came up to certain things, I had no clue. So I'm constantly now, even in my mid 40s, figuring out certain stuff that I'm like, oh, wow, this business is going to be great in the next 15 years because I've learned so much now because I had to learn throughout the process versus being handed certain information when I was younger, right? But I think that's one of the biggest things about platforms like this and, platforms like Black or Everything and the work that we do is because we're also out here sharing information with individuals that are younger entrepreneurs who are coming up will be able to lean into it. Like even for myself, I'm starting a free entrepreneurship tutoring program for girls this upcoming September, where they're going to get 30 sessions with me over a span of 6 months, which is priceless, right? But I'm giving this away because I want other young girls to not have to figure out simple things that I can just teach them, and they can teach their friends and they can teach their parents, right? So it's like, how are we giving up this information to give people access to it? And I think with more opportunities like these types of conversations, or even being on my platform or going to my website or my YouTube channel, you can find the information because it's there, right? But you got to be really searching for it. And I think that's half of the battle for us, really continuing to link together within community and sharing what we know, because that's how we're going to save our communities.
Yes. This conversation is just so amazing. Oh my gosh. This is one, if you're listening, listen, if you need to share it, even after we're done, share it or go back and listen to it again, because our guests today are just dropping such wisdom, and I'm so grateful for it. So, Dr. Glow, we'll start with you and then we'll go to Trip. For the Black entrepreneur who's still in that hustle mode, right? Who doesn't know where to begin, what do you believe is one practical step they can take right now to begin their wellness journey?
Well, I think the first thing is honestly just sit down, get yourself a nice big piece of paper. I'm, born in the 80s, so I'm big on writing on paper. Get some paper and like write out what you want your life to really look like. I mean, and dream big about what you want your life to look like. And it could be very simple. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I was like, well, how much money do you want to make on a monthly basis from your business? And they said like $500. I said, that's all you really want to make? And they were like, no. I said, so what is the number? They was like, I want to make like $50,000. I said, start there and go to 150,000, but start what you want your life to really look like, and then take small micro steps to get there. So, Tiffany, last statement, you said something about it didn't happen as a snap of a finger. Nothing actually evolves at the snap of a finger. Nothing does. But we have to be content that we are constantly evolving, even with the simple things. Even with every single moment you are growing, and be grateful for those opportunities, because it's helping you to get to what next is. So I think for people who just want to start, just get started and trust that you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Glow. Trip?
In addition to that, I want to say, so I had a mentor, my mentor, who he actually taught me how to design. That was back when I was designing clothes. He said, because it was like in the beginning when I wanted to, as I mentioned earlier, when I originally wanted to launch a clothing company, there was a lot of back and forth. I would always talk to him about it, and he would always say to me, just do it. Don't look for thousands of dollars. Don't try to go do nothing fancy. If you wanna start a clothing brand, get a t-shirt, paint on it, spend like $20 to $50, get printed and print your logo on it and just start selling it. You know what I'm saying? And what I got from that was, you don't necessarily need thousands of dollars to start something. All you need is, you need a vision. You need to make sure that it's your passion. You need to make sure that this is what you really want to do. And you need to have the drive to just go for it and just do it. I feel like I don't like have any regrets, and I'm not saying that like I regret starting it this late in my life, but I did wish that, a couple of years back, I just took the chance and I just did it, and I wish that I wasn't such an overthinker, because like my overthinking, which probably is also for most people, it always leads to doubts, like, and I'm just or like what ifs. I'm like, if I do this, like, what if it doesn't work? What if, you know what I'm saying? Just do it. Passion is also a very big thing. You can be passionate about a lot of things, but I think that if you do have a lot of things that you're passionate about, going back to kind of what Dr. Lowe was talking about, just write all of it down, narrow everything down, probably rank them. Which one are you the most passionate about? Which ones are you least passionate about? Whatever is at the top, like I would say like top three, then narrow that down. Which one's first, which one's second, which one's third, and then try to choose it from there. I think that there's so much to do in the world. Like there's so much things to do, and if you're like me, if you're like a multidisciplinary artist, or you're multi-talented, whatever. Like I feel like if you're into so many different things, maybe my advice would honestly to be to think about what is the most sustainable. What do you love, but what is also the most sustainable? What is going to get you that big house in the future? What is going to set you up to take care of your family that you might want to have someday? You know what I mean? You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're doing what you love, but you're also struggling, because that's where I was, and I was there, and I'm young, but I was there for a little bit, and it sucked. And I realized that I didn't want to be in that space anymore. And I realized that that's not what I want for myself. It's not what I want for my life. So, what do I love, and what can I do that is sustainable, that's going to get me to the future that I want?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So it's ironic. The question on the floor from Pastor Joyce was, "Who are your mentors?" So you already mentioned a mentor, Trip. So Dr. Glow, who can you give us one of your mentors?
For me, honestly, my uncle he was the one who had the business, and I spent a lot of time with him when I was a kid, and I saw what life could be. Right. And I think that was a big deal for me, leaning into my family who were successful. But at this point in time, the world is honestly my mentor now. I absorb from every place I'm going into. I'm absorbing something. Like even from this conversation, I'm absorbing everything that's coming out of both of your mouths. Right. Because I feel that I'm constantly being taught. So I think when you're talking about mentorship, it's about how are you moving through the world and accepting information that comes in front of you? Because I know the universe puts every experience in front of me every time I need it for it to be there. Right. So like I had a thought about you, sent you a text message about something totally different, and I end up in this space today. But this is what was supposed to happen because this is what I needed right now. So I feel is like when it comes down to mentors, everything is my mentors, even my children. They're my mentors. I pay attention to them. I listen to them. And just remember, the universe is always blessing you. So when somebody's in front of you, it's because they're supposed to be. So the real job for you is to figure out, like, why are you placed in my life right now? And what is your role in my life right now?
Yes. Thank you. Trip, if you can go back and tell your younger self one truth about rest, power, or purpose, what would it be?
I think that it would be that it's real. I feel like when I was younger, like obviously, you're a kid, you have all this energy, you have all these dreams and aspirations, and you wanna do all that, like you wanna fulfill all of them. But I feel like you have to be realistic, and you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to the reality of what you're doing and how far you're pushing yourself. So I would just say to my younger self that, you have to make sure that you're always in tune with reality. You know, being delusional, it in a sense it helps sometimes, but it's not ideal. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to be superwoman, that's fine, but can superwoman really deal with all this? Can superwoman really take in all this and just keep going? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would definitely tell my younger self to always be in tune with reality.
Mhm.
Thank you. Dr. Glow, what would you tell your younger self?
My younger self, that you were like super dope. You are a dope human, which comes with that you are capable of anything, right? But you're only capable of the things that you trust others to support you with, right? And surround yourself around a good network. Connect, 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 connect. And I think for me, that's one of the biggest balls I was dropped many moons ago, is that I didn't connect when I needed to. You know, I went to college, didn't really connect. I connected in high school. I see people today that everybody knows my name. I have no clue what their name is. Right? That's how disconnected I was. But I
Mm.
think that was the biggest thing for me. I would tell, even I teach my kids now, is really about connection. And as I connect with people, every opportunity is an opportunity for you to connect with somebody who's going to be somebody you can use later on in life. Not and honestly be able to collaborate in some way, because people say, "Oh, you're going to use them?" Yes, you are, because I'm
Mhm.
going to let them use me too. It's going to be great.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you both so much for sharing. Dr. Glow, what's coming up for you? Where can people find you?
Oh my goodness. So you can find me all over the internet. But you can find me at Black Girl Everything LLC on Instagram and Facebook. You also can find me as Dr. Glow. Dr. Glow. If you Google Dr. Glow these days, it comes up. So you can find me that way. But I also have another business, Daisy Dream Project, where it's my nonprofit, where I have a sensory gym based here in Mount Vernon. We support children with special needs as well as parent engagement groups. We have a number of events coming up through all of my businesses here located in Mount Vernon, including BGE Talks, which is our first speaker-like event that we're having in October. I have people who are local or not local come through. It's going to be great. We have amazing speakers, vendors. We're actually doing a chef challenge where we have 7 Black women chefs who are coming featuring their favorite dish. So it's going to be fun time in October. And of course, the Black Women's Retreat. Please come on out, and that's in March of next year. So looking for 2 speakers for that. If you know anybody who's interested in coming on as a speaker, please let me know. But everything is big time. So just follow Black Girl Everything, follow Dr. Glow, just out here just changing the world.
Thank you. Thank you. Trip, what's coming up for you, and where can people find you?
So you can find me, New Form Studios, across Facebook, Instagram, I think any social platform, I think Twitter, all that stuff, or at Trip Tomlinson, Facebook, Instagram. I don't. We're getting into the school year, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do some collaboration with some design schools here in Boston. So, where I'm trying to look into that and kind of put that project together to mentor some aspiring and emerging designers through my company. So that's something that's potentially coming up. But other than that, we just still working.
This is still working. Oh my gosh. Were you going to say something else, Dr. Glow?
No, I'm just really excited.
Okay. Yeah. I listen. I'm excited about what's coming up for both of you. I put those of you who are watching, those links are inside the chat. Please visit. Please visit. Check out the retreat. Check out everything that Dr. Glow is doing. Check out Trip Tomlinson's business. Listen, if you have a need, let's support each other. Okay. Visit their websites. Find them on social media. Give them a follow. Dr. Glow and Trip, thank you so much for your honesty today. Thank you for reminding us that rest is really revolutionary, and wellness is part of us, right? It's part of our work. It's part of our lives. It's part of our legacy, and it's not a detour from what we are called to do. And so, everyone, those of you, hey, Instagram, I didn't say hi to you. Instagram is over there. Everyone watching, if this episode challenged you, share it, right? If it freed something in you, hold on to that. And if it reminded you that you are allowed to be well, even in the work, right? Carry that into your next email, your next client, and your next breath. And so I want you this week to reclaim your rest, to stand in your power and walk in your purpose. And until next time, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated, but most of all, I want you to stay inspired. See you next week.